面白そう。最初は回想かな。
Oh, I do apologize. Am I disturbing you?
No, please.
My name is Miss Alice de Bouvier.
おいね。
I'm Mr. Holmes' new neighbor.
Oh, I didn't have the pleasure to... I am Dr. John Watson. Could we provide you with any assistance?
She is not the concern, Watson.
I'm... Then, what is this about?
That child standing sniffling behind her. Get rid of him, Watson.
But he is shivering with cold. And he is upset. What happened to him?
Little Tom knocked at the wrong door.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Oh, boy, come in. Warm yourself by the fire. Can I offer you a cup of tea, Mr. Bouvier?
Well,
It is not as though we are disturbing... you know who. Are we?
I suppose not.
Since you are our new neighbor, it is perhaps better that you know what he's like.
You're starting to worry me.
Well, Mr. Holmes is relapsing. This illness that he has seizes him when he finds himself with nothing to do. He becomes completely asocial. And alas, this is a very difficult, medically incurable case. Now this must stay between us.
Of course, I understand. How very sad.
But there is a cure, if only a temporary one. A thrilling inquiry. Most certainly. If he refuses this one, then his condition will worsen.
Oh, I am still here, you know. I didn't fall out of the window. Very well, then.
Thank you, miss.
Now tell me, boy, what brings you here?
It's my father, sir. He's missing. I don't know what to do.
What's his name?
George Hurst, sir.
Missing, eh? And what do the police say?
The police, they don't believe me. They say he's just abandoned me. But that's a lie.
And when was the last time you saw him?
3 weeks ago. He left for a new job. But this time, he was acting a bit strange and angry.
3 weeks? That's a long time.
Well, every day I thought he would...
What were you thinking? You and your father are both at risk. You should have come to me much earlier.
I was afraid. I ain't got no family, and I've got no other place to go. If our landlord finds out that father left me, he'll throw me out on the street.
Tom, you've been very resourceful. We shall be discreet.
If only my mother was still here.
Strange. In what way?
He said to me, "Son, I'm out on a special job. Don't you dare move from here." I think something went wrong.
Very well. Your address, please, Tom.
12 Dorset Street, the first floor, door E. It's in Whitechapel, sir. But I ain't got no money to pay.
Who asked for money, Tom? Your case seems to be the very medicine I need. I'll meet you there shortly.
Oh, thank you, sir.
My archive. I can always consult with it if needed. My archive. I can always consult with it if needed. My analysis table. It's useful for my work.
Poor child. Holmes, you should help him.
Brave Toby, the best nose in the British Empire. A map of London and its... Watson documents our adventures in here.
なんかわら。ねわら。 途中遊びながら行くのね、わら。なんかあったから、わら。
These streets are too narrow for the cab. I'll have to walk. Dorset Street.
Tis our home, Mr. Holmes.
The Old Tabard Pub, North Street. The Old Tabard Pub, North Street. Glue. Probably taken from a wall. Old clothes, soiled and worn.
The roof leaks all the time. Father used to fix it.
It's too dark. Hurst covered his bills ahead of time, thus providing Tom with...
My mother, sir. She died when I was very young.
I'm sorry, Tom. Well, I can see the preparations for peasant soup, a clever concoction for somebody with apparently no culinary skills.
あったら屋根裏見れる。探すよ。
Food's running low. It's already 3 weeks since George Hurst's disappearance. A collection of worn-out and second-hand books. George...
Father bought all those books for me. He didn't...
た D、すべての D。
Huh, so that's why you came to see me.
よかった。
Please, sir, find my father.
A leather satchel, what's in it? Just some old things.
Good day, Mr. Holmes.
Well, if it isn't young Wiggins. And I see you found yourself a job.
If you can call it that. I hate it. But if you've got any proper work for me...
I just might be in need of your assistance later. Wait here.
I need to Earwig to find out who is off.
No gods, no masters.
There's no one to eavesdrop on from here.
No gods, no masters.
No. That fellow who's offering the special jobs, he never drinks alcohol.
The child labour law sent your kids to school instead of the coal mine.
Equality for the working class.
I'm glad I'm my own boss. I can complain only to myself.
The man who's offering that special job has a proper set of mutton chop whiskers.
So, the man I'm looking for has whiskers and never drinks alcohol.
No gods, no masters.
This must be the man that I'm looking for. Interesting. A missing person. I should find out more.
You see that gentleman? I need you to follow him and report back to me.
All right, Mr. Holmes.
Whitechapel never changes. Dirt and beggars everywhere. I couldn't play an event last week.
Pumpkin! Cabbage! Cheek!
They won't let me pass. I'll need to find another way. Ah, I've lost him.
Whitechapel never changes. Dirt and beggars everywhere.
I don't know, go with this fuck everybody. I take a part of it.
I couldn't play an event last week.
They won't let me pass. I'll need to find another way.
Rich folk feed meat to their dogs. I can't even remember what...
Living costs are too much these days. My son has to work down the sewers. He's only 7.
Stop crying and get to work.
Ah, boys from the Bruisers gang. Better keep out of their way.
What are you waiting for?
Who do we have here? Get him!
Take a brush and get in there.
Ah, boys from the Bruisers gang. Better keep out of their way.
Stop crying and get to work.
I'll be able to continue the chase if I climb up the chimney, but it's dangerous.
What are you waiting for?
Please.
Go on then.
He's still here, that's a relief.
Whoa.
Oh.
ここで役に立つのね、わら。
Ah, I've lost him.
あれか。
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor early in the morning?
No place to hide here. We'd better go through the yard.
Oi! What are you doing in my garden?
Look at that crawling rat.
I know that boy. His shoes shine Jim from Chamber Street. He's mute because his drunk stepfather beat him. It's too dangerous to enter. I need to make sure that this is his final destination. Hey Jim, can you lend me your kit? I'm on a secret mission for Mr. Holmes.
Mm-hmm.
It's dirty. I should...
Hurry up.
Now this shoe needs some polish.
Did you fall asleep?
This could be useful. He's talking with a cabbie. We'll need to get closer. Damn! I need to find another one.
At last, the weather's good. Last week was freezing.
I'm saying it doesn't get cold again. Oh, no, it's the cold.
I can't lose him now.
シャーロック・ホームズやっとるよ。
Interesting. What's going on in the yard? Locked. Ah, a coat of arms. Wow. I can't see what's inside. I can't see what's inside. Do only 2 people live here? I wish one was me. Bags of food. I like this. Time to report to Mr. Holmes. Let's get outside before I get caught. It's too dangerous to enter.
Wigan's tale was quite unusual. What do you make of what he found, Holmes?
Wiggins did a good job. That's not the one I need. That's not... That's not... That's not... That's not the... That's not the one I need. That's not the one... That's not the one I need. That's not the one I need. That's not the one I need. That's not the one. Here it is. So this man could be Lord Marsh. Huh. A lord who hangs around in a public house. Let's pay a visit to Lord Marsh. We'll pretend that we're interested in his chat.
Mr. Holmes, you have a visitor.
Oh, just ask him to wait.
I'm afraid that won't be possible. This young lady refuses to wait for anything.
What?
Father!
Caitlin!
Miss Caitlin's boarding school was flooded. Everyone was sent home.
As if it could smell any mustier.
My word, how is it possible that you have grown up so fast?
You'll be staying. Wherever will we put you?
Holmes, I'll give her my room, of course.
What do you have to say, Kate?
You're on a new case. A respectable lady who's being blackmailed? Or is it a love story between a prince and a suffragist?
However did you guess?
You will tell me, won't you, Father?
We'll see. If you behave.
All right, then. Have fun. I'll go and unpack. Will you help me, Mrs. Hudson?
Holmes, about Caitlin.
Yes?
She has grown up, hasn't she? Don't you think it's time to tell her?
To tell her what, Watson?
Well, about her father.
Never. Absolutely never. Do you hear me?
Holmes, you were responsible for the death of her father. You owe her the truth. She is old enough now.
I would lose her. Can't you see that? She must never know, Watson. Is that clear?
Holmes.
It won't and can't happen.
Come in, please. Good day, gentlemen. Welcome to my home. How may I help you?
Good day to you, Lord Marsh. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson. I hope we're not disturbing you. You are with your physician?
Yes, this is Dr. Reuben Fisher. But no, please, I'm intrigued by your visit, Mr. Holmes.
I'm glad to hear it. The last thing I'd wish is to upset the patient. Lord Marsh, can I just say that I admire all of your efforts in assisting the poor of London?
Yes. It is a war that we must fight on our streets and now, too, from my home. You must surely have noticed those bags full of items, clothing and books for the unfortunate.
That is inspirational. At my own humble level, I too try my best to support those in need. I thought perhaps that I could be of some assistance.
I don't see why not. I already have the valuable assistance of Dr. Fisher, who happens to be my personal physician.
It's curious. Your face seems familiar to me, Doctor. Oddly, I'm associating it with Whitechapel?
Well done. You are right. I do occasionally frequent a few hostelries over there, would you believe it? Not that I am a drinker. But there, dressed as a working man, I can approach the other fellows to see if they might be interested in a special job.
A special job? May I ask what you're referring to?
Certainly. Since Lord Marsh began his special education program in 1889, he foresaw that such people would need an occupation of some kind. And so, with or without education, we propose these opportunities to work with Lord Marsh. It offers the less fortunate a chance to help make London a better place.
That's remarkable.
Yes, indeed. In order to truly see, one requires vision, yes, but also insight. And Lord Marsh has believed this since he was a child.
Oh, Dr. Fisher makes it all sound so romantic. Let's close this topic.
Forgive me, Lord Marsh. You're looking very pale. Might I offer Dr. Watson's assistance?
That is kind of you. but I feel confident that I can provide Lord Marsh with the care that he requires.
How long have you been like this, my lord?
I'm fine, Dr. Watson. Don't fuss. It's only influenza. I'll be better in a few days. I can feel it already.
In that case, why are you taking such powerful painkillers?
Excuse me, what do you mean?
Mr. Holmes is referring to the pills on your table.
I'm sorry, but that's a medical confidentiality.
Despite my title, yes, I have to share my home with these bags full of food for the poor.
Lord Marsh believes that he can help all...
I'm intrigued by the special education program.
Last year, 3 orphans were put through medical college. Thanks to Lord Marsh. Lord Marsh, hunting with his friends.
Ah, my dear comrades, Lord Collins and Lord Harrington. If it wasn't for this godforsaken English malady, I'd be with those rapscallions right now.
All in due time.
John Strobridge. I've seen this name. I can't quite work it out. Do you have any idea as to the number of people who might owe you their life?
Oh, don't embarrass me, Mr. Holmes. But indeed, these people have become like a family to me.
That would be a fairly large family, I imagine.
Yes, the list would be longer than any of your short stories. As for how large, well, Fisher is the one who keeps record.
Might we take a glance at the list?
I regret that is impossible. It is confidential. I stand firm upon that point, Mr. Holmes.
I quite understand. We'll most certainly send a donation towards your educational program. I shall take my leave then. I thank you both, and I wish you all the very best, gentlemen.
Likewise, Mr. Holmes.
I'm intrigued by the special education program.
Aid for... It's shut tight. Bags full of food. Humanitarian aid for...
Mr. Holmes, do you have any news about my father?
Tom, not so fast. I wanted to ask you if you remember your father mentioning anything about a special education program.
An education program? No, he only talked about a special job.
What's this box, Tom?
Oh, yeah. I just found it, Mr. Holmes. It was ever so well hidden. I've no idea why.
Well done, my boy. It could prove very helpful. A ramrod to clean a... This oil can also be used... Wolfjack. Looks like a military bag. Tom, does your father own a rifle?
A rifle? No. If he had, he would have shown it me.
I'm sure that he wouldn't have shown it you. I need to find this rifle. This scrap of cloth was used to oil a firearm. Tom, does your father have any other property?
No. Well, at least I don't say...
I have to take Toby. He'll take a sniff of the oil, and we'll find that rifle. Come on, Toby. It's time for you to earn your keep. Watson?
I prefer to visit Lord Marsh. I'm worried about the condition of his health. I prefer to visit Lord Marsh. I'm worried about the condition of his health.
I have better things to do.
そうね、わら。
Search, Toby, search. Nothing that could interest me.
あ、これ BGM で眠くなるやつ。わら。わら。
It's not here. Old things. Ordinary storage. Tom's photograph. There's no space for this lock. There's no space for this lockpick. There's no space for this lockpick. This case must have been full of cartridges. There was something. News clippings on Lords and the education program. Why are they... Let's compare this list with the evidence that we found earlier. This is the list of according to this poster, let's compare them with people from... This man appears in both... All the people in Marsh's document are marked and dated in George Hurst's files. A map of Epping Forest. Just rub it. Just some old... Brave Toby.
私とことこ、いい。私は必須だもんね。いいアクセント、そうアクセント。そうよ。推理に必要なのは優秀な助手とお菓子だよ。あら。あれ、音聞こえなくなった。ん？読み込み終わったからかな？そうなのかな？あ、変換ミス、わら。わら。聞こえた。
Here it is. Well, well. Sweet slumber after a hard-working...
ぐ見つかるかな。
Just leave the post on the doorstep.
There was a rifle here. George Hurst took it with him.
Holmes, what are you doing here? What are you planning?
A mission of my own. You must play the role of the conscientious doctor while I sneak inside Marsh's house. That's the only way of helping little Tom. This is not the best way to sneak in. The window is firmly shut. There's no space.
How can I help you?
I came to visit Lord Marsh.
What for?
I would very much like to see Lord Marsh, if you please.
Oh, you're so clumsy. Can you please not...
I have to visit Lord Marsh and offer him my services.
Fisher, please, allow Dr. Watson to enter.
Good job, Watson. Lord Marsh is a keen... Let's see how hard to crack this safe is.
Doctor, it appears that you were impatient to pay me another visit.
Indeed. Will you allow me to examine you? A second opinion, so that the great Lord Marsh does not become the late Lord Marsh.
Well, since you put it that way, very well.
Shall I retire to your office, Lord Marsh?
No, please, Doctor. I insist that you stay. I shall need your assistance.
Will you break anything else?
I'll try my best.
Mr. Holmes? What are you doing here? Will you break anything else?
I'll try my best.
Mr. Holmes? What are you doing here? Will you break anything else?
I'll try my best.
I can hide here. November 7th.
つながってきたね。おいよ。
I'd suggest that your current weakness is perhaps more than a simple case of influenza, Lord Marsh.
Where might your companion be, Dr. Watson?
Oh, he's busy poking his nose into other people's business, I'm sure.
My lord, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I must remind you about your meeting.
Is it already time? My apologies, Dr. Watson, but we are expected elsewhere. Might we offer you a lift?
You are going out? I'm not sure that's wise in your condition.
I value your opinion, but misery never rests, and I am needed.
Well, do please take good care of yourself, Lord Marsh. I'll send you my diagnosis, Dr. Fisher.
Thank you, Dr. Watson. Farewell.
ねえ。 行ったり来たりの繰り返しだね。
Holmes.
Watson, what are you doing at my table?
I just need to... My intuition tells me that Lord Marsh is hiding something about his disease. His cough, in addition to his fever and his usage of strong painkillers, leads me to believe that he is seriously ill. Let's... Sputum with tiny... I could... I need to take a sample of it. Let us apply chemical. I need a pipette. This chemical should... Now, let's examine the... Mycobacterium. Holmes, this is no longer a laughing matter. It is just as I feared. Lord Marsh is suffering from tuberculosis.
You don't say.
Yes, I do say. And Holmes, he will die if he is not transferred to a sanatorium as soon as possible.
And yet both Lord Marsh and Dr. Fisher are doing their best to hide this fact. How interesting.
But why?
Why indeed, Watson?
Oh, but... Oh, dear God. You don't think that Lord Marsh contracted tuberculosis while aiding the poor? How terrible. I have a commitment that I can't possibly cancel. Holmes, during my absence, please be extremely careful. This disease is highly contagious. And remember that we have women at home.
Thank you, Miss Alice. Until later.
I'll see you soon, Caitlin.
Where have you been?
Our neighbour lent me a book. She is so kind. I think she likes you.
I doubt that.
How is your investigation going?
It's going. Dracula?
Yes. It's forbidden reading at my boarding school. Did you know?
Well, well. That's not the one I need. That's not the one I need. That's not the one I... That's not the one I need. 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 This is Kate's room. It's private.
ないぞ。
That's not the one I... My archive. That's not the one I need. That's not the one. That's not the one I... That's not the one I need. That's not the one I need. That's not... That's not... That's not the... That's not the one I need. That's not... That's not the one I... That's not... That's not the one I need. Here it is. Cranston's Oak is in Epping Forest. That's the place indicated on George Hurst's map.
あった、わら。
My arc.
やっとだね、わら。
Let's try to find the place from the hand-drawn map.
Here it is. Drat. I'll need to hurry if I want to find out what's going on at the forest.
Father, that boy Wiggins, does he come here very often?
He helps occasionally in some of my cases. Why do you ask?
I'd like to talk to him.
Talk to him?
Father, back at school there are only girls to talk to, and they are so boring. I'm sure Wiggins has lots of exciting stories to tell about his life in London. It would be so romantic.
Kate, Wiggins is not the sort of boy you should be socializing with.
So he's perfect then.
Oh, Kate.
I'll leave you alone now.
Let's see how long you can stay alive! Where is he?
This man was killed recently. He was
Find him, boys! Find him! You scampering little rat! You're so slow! Hungry today! Your body! Where have you gone? I'm following your tracks! Where have you gone? You won't get far!
He was killed by a shot to the... My God, it's Lord Harrington's body. My health is deteriorating. I need to dress my wound. This will help to... The Quartermain Club. This must be... Someone's coming, I better hide.
Lord Marsh. It's almost over.
Who are you?
George Hurst from the 1st Lovett Scouts, here to deliver justice.
An old soldier. How ironic. Did we refuse you on our special education program?
It's true, I was refused. An old wounded soldier is useless to you, but he can still be dangerous.
We hunted a lot in these woods, but I didn't expect to become the prey. I have lived a grand life without any limits set by others. I will die a happy man, so you won't see me begging, you festering wretch.
Prepare to meet your maker.
Magica. Aとは自分でなんだ。
George, lower your rifle, please, for Tom's sake.
Holmes! My, an almost worthy opponent.
Tom? My Tom? If you've endangered my lad in any way, you will pay dearly.
I assure you that Tom is safe in London with a well-trusted friend. And now it's time to end this.
By all means.
George, listen to me. If you're seeking an apt punishment and vengeance, killing Marsh will give him exactly what he wants. He would die knowing that he had fulfilled his life through his absolute control of it. But if you allow Marsh to live and be arrested, he will suffer a punishment far greater than your eye could deliver. His ball and chain will be the debilitating tuberculosis. It will drag him painfully and slowly to his demise behind bars.
You're mad! You're both mad!
Let's go and find Tom.
Not just yet. See, Lord Marsh, you will die here, although not by the gun. You'll die slowly.
Don't do this, George.
Detective, take a look here.
This is how you became sick, Lord Marsh. Beheading of your victims who were suffering from tuberculosis was what infected you. Poetic justice.
Holmes, you cannot fully understand why we helped so many and sacrificed a few. But don't let me die like this. Just kill me now.
Mr. Hurst, you've already served brutal justice to Lord Harrington and I hope Lord Collins and Dr. Fisher. Taking that into consideration, you may as well kill Lord Marsh and end the Quartermain Club completely. No loose ends.
Wow.首切られたな。切られたね。これくらいのがあと何章あるんやろ、わら。結構多そう、わら。
Yes! Well done, Watson!
Holmes, you're playing bowls? Indoors?
Not just any old bowls, Watson. Lawn bowling.
Seriously? With your injury? Oh, no. Mrs. Hudson is going to murder you.
Well, that's it for now. Time to go. Would you care to join me?
You're incorrigible. And where are we going, Holmes?
I'm participating in the final stage of the annual tournament held by the London Archaeological Institute's Bowling Club. It's an official invitation. I'll just need to dress suitably and then we can leave. My archive.
そんな面白そうなイベントあんのか。
Holmes, are you...
This? Everyone dresses like...
That should be a sight worth...
すごくやりたい、ボソ。あら。
Mr. Holmes, you played very well yesterday.
I'm obliged to you, Sir Charles. I play many outdoor sports. That's the key to my success. My friend Dr. Watson has decided to join me.
Really? Mr. Holmes, would you like to see the first prize? A rare stone Mayan quiche calendar.
Mayan quiche?
Indeed. Their legendary king, Tekun Uman, has his statue just behind you. Although this one is a cast metal copy.
That? Oh.
Hi.
Well, since only members may enter the clubhouse, we have exhibited the calendar outside. Please, explore.
I'd like to win the Mayan calendar. It's a beautiful work of art.
This'll keep Watson happy.
Mr. Holmes, I'm glad you are my opponent for the final. People call me Arthur the Invincible. So I wish you good luck.
I lost to the quarterfinals, but the green was wet.
Ah, Mr. Holmes. Are you ready to begin?
Yes.
野菜炒め作って食べる。お昼ご飯？朝手振り専用、あら。あら。
Congratulations on your game, Mr. Holmes. Exceptional. The awards ceremony will be tomorrow morning. See you then to receive your prize of the calendar. I trust you will be there as well, Dr. Watson?
Unfortunately, I'll be unable to attend tomorrow. Duty calls.
Ah, what a pity.
Let's go home.
See you tomorrow. My congratulations, Mr. Holmes.
Only club members have access. The statue of Takunu Man.
Daddy.
Hello, Mr. Bouvier.
Hello, Mr. Holmes.
Well, Caitlin?
Your costume.
Oh, don't you like it?
Oh, I do.
Caitlin, come on. Show some respect for your father.
You know, Father, Miss Alice was telling me all about her travels. She has already toured the world with her own father.
Your daughter is exquisite.
And just to think that she was aboard the Orient Express when it was attacked. What a dream.
Indeed.
She's so creative and imaginative. And that reminds me, would you allow Caitlin to visit me so that she can practice playing the piano?
It's very kind of you, but I decided that Caitlin should stop playing the piano.
Oh, Father! Why did you say that?
Caitlin, we are neighbours. We'll meet again. Until then, I shall leave you with this book.
Thank you, Miss Alice.
Here it is.
The statue did it. It killed Zacharias.
Calm yourself now, Sir Charles. You've had a shock. Let the police do their duty.
What can a mere inspector like you do about it? You don't know anything.
A mere inspector? Phew. And now here comes Mr. Holmes.
Lestrade, are you here to receive a prize as well?
Very amusing, Holmes. You can go home. The ceremony's been cancelled. We've got a murder scene here.
Really? And to think I only came here for my prize.
I know, Holmes. I saw your name on the list of finalists. So go away.
You're not going to congratulate me?
What? Do you really think I'm that naive? You turning up out of the blue and then bam, a murder? There's a surprise.
Oh, you're making a spectacle of yourself, Lestrade. Let's just pretend that I'm a simple consultant, your humble assistant.
Oh, all right then. A club member, Mr. Zacharias Greystoke, was killed at around 4 in the morning. There. Now, don't mess around.
I promise that I won't, Inspector. What do you make of the facts?
It's quite clear. The murderer intended to steal the Mayan calendar. He was caught by Zacharias Greystoke. He then took up the first weapon that came to hand, the statue's spear, and killed Greystoke. Then he fled, just as Sir Charles was coming out of the club. Unfortunately, we've been unable to find any trail beyond the club's wall. It's as if the murderer vanished into thin air. Well, take a look for yourself.
Did you search the clubhouse?
What for? The murder took place outside.
What did the police say? Do you know anything?
The surface is damaged. The iron mounting... Traces of metal on... A piece of the statue's mounting rod. Pieces from the pedestal. The case is... The case... Tissot watch. Swiss. This... Zacharias' folder with some documents. These drawings... This spear came... Dry leaves. They make a noise. Dry leaves. If I believed Lestrade, this Mayan calendar was the reason behind the murder.
Can I help you? Can I help you, Mr. Holmes?
Only club members have access. Sir Charles, are you able to tell me in detail what happened?
Ah, Mr. Holmes. Well, to prepare for the awards ceremony, I decided to spend the night here at the club. I was sitting alone at my desk when I suddenly heard a loud, metallic sound and a terrible shout. I hurried outside and I found the body of Zacharias. And I swear it, I saw the statue of Tekun Uman running away.
You saw the
It was dark. But yes, I'm sure of it. It was running, and it was making the most horrible metal sound as it did so. And can't you see, the pedestal is now empty.
Did you know that?
Yes, of course. It was Zacharias Greystoke.
But why was he here so early in the morning?
Oh.
Sir Charles...
It was donated and we received it shortly before the tournament, with a letter asking...
Is the calendar...
Not really. It has historical value, of course. But to be truthful with you, Mr. Holmes, it is...
May I go?
It's members only.
あとはご飯炊けるの待つだけ。おつおつわら。ありがとう、わら。
And what about...
No idea yet.
Right, so there were thieves.
Yes, must have been. Please. He said this morning that he was alone at his desk. Believe it or not, he said that there was no one else on the green.
You mean that...
Absurd, more like. Besides, it was dark and foggy.
So, somewhat like...
You're still...
Can I help you, Mr...
I need to finish here first. Traces of metal on stone. It looks like the statue broke away from its pedestal.
You're still here?
A murder. A murder at my club. What a disaster for our reputation.
Only club. A broken branch. Somebody jumped into the tree and then over the wall. A broken branch.
Can I help?
Scratches on the stone.
You're still here?
The Great Tor... What a spect...
A murder at my club. What a disaster for our reputation.
At your service. At your...
Only club members have access. Money was left. All valuables were left on the victim. The strike was powerful and well aimed.
murder.
A broken branch. Somebody jumped into the tree and then over the wall. It looks as if Zacharias was killed the moment he approached the calendar, and killed by the spear from Tikkun Uman's statue that jumped from its stand and escaped over the wall.
Well, Holmes, your conclusions as my consultant?
My conclusions are approximate to Sir Charles's testimony.
Oh dear, you think the statue did it?
Everything points to the fact that the spear was thrown from the pedestal and Mr. Greystoke appeared not to notice the killer.
Indeed. The journalists will be ecstatic about your version.
I would like to examine the victim and take a look at his belongings.
Oh, you've amused me at least, Mr. Holmes. Very well. I'll grant you authorisation for the examination at Scotland Yard, but nothing more.
Thank you for coming so quickly, Watson. Lestrade already has the victim's body in the autopsy room.
I'm always ready to help anytime, Holmes.
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
This spear came from the... Tissot watch. An ordinary... Money... Ah, Zacharias. The Mayan calendar. Interesting. What? I could use this dictionary to translate the calendars. They are the symbols that were drawn on the Mayan calendar. The papers from Zacharias' folder. They can help us to translate the Mayan message.
昼ちょっと前に始めて、もう3時になる、わら。ほんまや。そして今からご飯わら。はい。
Cursed will be anyone who disturbs the sacred temple. They will meet their death by the risen statue. Only the chosen will have mercy. It's not only a calendar, it's a curse. Zacharias Greystoke, a member of the club, was killed as the curse decreed.
I'm always ready to help anytime, Holmes.
It was a powerful throw. The spear pierced right through the body.
Red eye. It looks like a... The coroner mentions in his report some specific cardiac and digestive... Traces of alcohol were found in the stomach.
This is where the spear entered the body. The weapon must have been thrown by a strong and skilled...
It's possible that the link between Zacharias and the curse is at the archaeological club. I'll need a search warrant.
We'll need to get a search warrant to investigate the...
Aren't you supposed to be investigating those cases of yours instead of bothering me?
Good day to you too, Inspector. I have a small favour to ask of you, a search warrant to investigate the murder at the club.
No, no, and no.
Since I'm without the warrant, I should find something else to do. By the way, do you know if Sir Robin is currently in town?
I have no idea. And why on earth should you even think that I might know that?
Well, I believe I may have solved a case about, let's say, a salacious inspector.
No, it's not what you think. Nothing dishonourable happened. Go on then. Take your warrant.
So he refused to give you the search warrant?
Oh no, I've got it. I won't need you for a while now, Watson. I'll see you later.
I'm curious to know how you obtained this warrant.
There's no need to disturb. The statue of Sir Charles, I have a search warrant. I would like to take a look inside the clubhouse.
I see. Here's the key, but I do protest.
I heard that Zacharias was killed by the statue's spear.
Oh, it's horrible. Do you think the club will be closed?
Ah, Sir Charles was once a captain in the guard. The 50th birthday of Lord... Charles Yellingham has a large family. Interesting. It appeared.
お腹いっぱいアクセントアクセント。早いな。
A message to Sir Charles from Zacharias.
なるほどね。
I wonder who this man... It's Sir Charles Yellingham, the director of the club. I wonder who this man is. Zacharias Greystoke. The late Mr. Brom's... The late Mr. Blink... The late Mr. Smith's collection. The late Mr. Robert. This metal globe is very impressive. Some bits. It appears that it's a part of a gold statue from Guatemala. Solid gold. It's worth a fortune. These antiques look quite valuable. These trunks have just arrived. They're from Zacharias Greystoke. Some bits are missing. So, Charles, you informed me that you didn't know why Mr. Greystoke was here at such a time.
That's correct. I have no idea.
But in fact, you do. Mr. Greystoke wrote to you about him coming with another person to visit.
Ah, well, yes, that is right. He raised a scandal about the Mayan calendar, so he wanted to see me before the ceremony. But I don't know exactly what it was that he wanted, or who this other person he mentioned might have been. A murder at my club. What a disaster for our reputation.
Can I help you, Mr. Holmes?
荷物来たおアクセントお荷物お楽しみの荷物、方法同じくそう同じく楽しみ D すべての Pそうね 今片付け手伝わされてたオーバーバー逆三角オーバーバー。お疲れ様、ピー。そしてものすごく見せたい届いたやつ。見せないけど。わら。わら。どっちなのわら。
A murder at my club. What a disaster for our reputation.
見たいか見たくないかで言うと、見たいよー、ナブラ、ワクワク。わら。
Zacharias Greystoke. Guatemala, 1881. I don't think this is a bowl.
けど見せないんでしょ。わら。
The photograph appears to have been faked or damaged. I'll take it.
見せたい&見せたくない、わら。葛藤してるのね、わら。
This piece has been cleanly and intentionally. Interesting. The men who own these collections are all dead.
わら。おうわら。
It appears that part is... I need a... Let's gently remove the paint with a soft... Aha.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Look here. There's a person with a swollen eye who was concealed within this photograph. A dispute of some kind, do you think, Watson?
Possibly. But it appears to me a characteristic symptom of a rare tropical disease that is found in South and Central America.
South America! Brilliant, Watson!
Happy to help.
Is it deadly?
Well, there is a chance he survived.
I shall ask Sir Charles, but who knows what he'll say.
I've an idea. There is only one hospital for such illness. The Hospital for Tropical Diseases. I have friends who work there.
Oh, yes?
Well, the chances are slim, but I'll pay them a visit. If he's in London, they would have seen him.
You have a fine collection at your club.
All the items are from our club members.
But only from deceased members, including Mr. Greystoke.
Yes. But it is a rule of the club that all our members undertake to donate their personal collections to us in the event of their death.
I found this photograph on your wall. You're in it, but do you know who these men are? Particularly the gentleman with the swollen eye.
Oh, him. But that's poor Mr. Albeit. He died from fever during an expedition to Guatemala 14 years ago. We were searching a Mayan Quiche temple, but everything went wrong. We were unable to enter the temple and the expedition ended in disaster. I'm here, and here is Zacharias. And there is Bernard Marley, another member. He's over there, near the pedestal. By the way, he's the fellow who built that terrible statue. He created it, must have been 10 years ago.
Albeit was a club member. Where is his collection?
Well, the devil if I know. We never did locate it. Mr. Marley is over there, near the statue's pedestal. Mr. Marley is over there, near the statue's pedestal.
Mr. Bernard Marley, I presume. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I have to ask you about an expedition to Guatemala.
Shh, not here. It's too dangerous. I'll give you my card. Visit me there where we can talk.
Keaton Street. Gumballs Road. Keaton Street. Crannon Street. Horse of Pedro Alvarado. Hello there, my man. Is your boss in?
Ah, he's in his office. It's the door near the female statue in the corner of the workshop.
Apparently, Marley has built multiple statues of Takuni-man.
Mr. Holmes, you must forgive my escape at the club. It wasn't a safe place to talk.
And it's safer here?
Yes, better here. Not my office. I have secured my foundry, you know.
Ah, reassuring. Did you know Zacharias Greystoke, the victim?
Yes, he was a brave friend. Such good karma until yesterday.
Do you recognize the unwell man in this photograph?
By Jove, albeit. Yes, that's him. The poor fellow met his end in Guatemala. He was struck down by a terrible disease.
You were friends?
Not really, but he was an active member and a courageous man. Too courageous. You can't fight against the Quiche gods.
And what of the expedition? You were seeking a Mayan temple?
Yes, the temple of Tekun Uman. Another one of Charles's stupid ideas. We found it, but there was some kind of strange force that prevented us from entering. An evil aura. It was Tekun Uman's emanation. We could all feel it. Albeit its disease worsened suddenly, there was nothing we could do. And now, with Zacharias' death, the curse has reawakened.
After 14 years?
Prophecies are timeless, even in the beyond. There is no escape.
Did Zacharias believe in the prophecy?
It is not a matter of belief, don't you understand? Zacharias was convinced that we could stop the curse by studying the calendar. What insanity! He sent me a message. He wanted us to visit the club and try to convince Charles to remove the calendar from the awards ceremony.
But you didn't go?
I knew Charles would refuse. Anyway, studying the calendar wouldn't help. Tekun Uman is far too powerful.
Your relationship with Charles Yellingham is...
not friendly. Well, it is reciprocal. You know, most of his expeditions are failures because he is too focused on his hypothetical career to be in politics.
He has political ambition.
Well, that would be an understatement. He has ambitions for the House of Lords, and the club is his means of achieving this. It's also the reason for his disastrous management. But he still succeeds in finding money. I wonder how.
What's your opinion on...
I don't know, but I have nothing to do with it. Nothing.
But in fact you do. You made the statue.
That's true. But it was 10 years ago. You can't blame me for that.
Don't you think so? After all, it is the statue that is responsible for killing.
No! It's Tekun Uman. But who could imagine that a simple statue replica would be chosen by Tekun Uman? Nobody. I have to leave you now. I've got paperwork to do. And we've spoken too much. He could hear us. Tekun Uman. Well, goodbye then.
無理やり終わらせる作戦、わら。
Sir Charles, I believe that it's time to pass on the leadership of your club to someone else.
I don't understand.
You were charged with the murder of Zacharias Greystoke. You murdered him for money and to further your career.
What? This is an outrage. I have powerful connections. You will regret this.
いいんじゃない。わら。手がかりあと10個もあるけど、わら。嘘でしょ、わら。もういいやしょう。
Father! Mr. Did you forget? Orson Wilde!
No.
Yes!
Miss...
Oh, Mr. Holmes.
Guess what? And he won't be disappointed, will he?
I... Oh. Hi.
Mr. Wilde, your room.
Charming. This is such a fascinating city.
We need to talk.
I'd rather not. You're going to be angry again. Goodbye, Mr. Wilde.